You do travel around, right?
I do.
So what are the games you take with you when you do that?
These.
In this video, we're gonna rank the best travel games to take with you when you travel the world.
Essentially, the prerequisite is you don't have a lot of space and you can play them while traveling and when you get there.
And we did that by ranking all of the games we know that could work. And now we're gonna put it all together and see which games are the best ones.
Disclaimer, this list will not include any roll or flip and write games because all of them would fit on this list. And we recently ranked them, so go check out that video because all of those would qualify.
But let's start out with number 10, and it is Illusion.
I literally have no idea what's going to be on this list. But Illusion is a good choice. It's a small card game, and I think that could be the theme here. Essentially, you place a card that tells you we have to arrange all the cards in ascending order, judging by the green color. And then you will place cards. In your turn, you can either add a card to the line or say that there's a mistake. I look at this card and go, does this card have more green than this and less than that? I guess it fits in the middle. And then I place the card. But if I think there's already a mistake, I say, it's a mistake. We flip the cards open, we check if there is a mistake, I get a point if there is. If there wasn't a mistake, then you would get a point.
First of all, it's really easy to explain how to play it. It's much easier than Yannis just did.
Shut up, I don't have visual material.
And it's easy for everyone to play because the concept of is on this card more green or in this card is really easy to understand. Just place them in order, and if it's wrong, then challenge it. It doesn't take a lot of space. The box doesn't. The gameplay itself, you just need a row of cards.
It's one of those games you can start playing without explaining the rules. You just start playing and then you get as you go.
And when we're talking about lines and cards, well, I jump to timeline.
Oh, remember when we explained about the colors? Same thing, but with years. Next game.
This game has different themes. History, cinema,
inventions.
What you do on your turns is similar to colors. You have to place them in the right order. So which thing happened first? They built the Eiffel Tower or we went to the moon?
They built the Eiffel Tower.
Whenever you place that card, you will have to check right away. It's quick, right?
Yeah.
Easy to explain. Yeah. This one is more daunting, I would say, especially if you say, hey, here's a history board game.
Daunting because everyone's like, come on, don't you know the microscope when was invented? Or like,
if you're afraid of that, then Illusion. But if you want to test your knowledge and like quiz, then Timeline is even better.
I would rank them this way, mostly because I'm a history buff and I can't remember numbers.
Those two things kind of don't go together.
History is not about years. History is about events that happened in those years.
Number 8, Similo.
Good. This one's not similar to the previous ones.
Co-op party game, by the way. And you have cards on the table, and one of those cards is like the person you need to find. Like
person, animal, depending on which set you get. Exactly. This is the card that needs to be left out last.
I am the only person who knows which one that is, but I can give all of you hints. And I'm saying all of you because it can be played from 2 to a million people. I place one card from my hand, and those cards are similar to those ones on the table, but show it, is it like similar to that one you need to find or completely different? And you just have to find one, taking out the cards that don't fit.
But I do recommend getting the animal one if you play with the kids, because I got the Harry Potter one and it was too complex for them.
You can mix and match these sets as well, so you can, for example, play the Harry Potter version, but only give hints with animals. So number 7, Star Wars, the deck building game.
It's not a small box, but to be honest, if you take everything out, it's a fairly quick game. 1 versus 1 game where you fight each other by building decks. There's a market and you buy new cards all the time. The other action without buying is attacking, and whoever destroys the opponent's 3 bases wins the game. You just attack or buy cards and try to attack even stronger. And it plays in like 15-20 minutes, so it's easy to squeeze in between flights or if you're traveling with a bus.
This will be one of the biggest boxes on this list for sure. 6th is Love Letter.
It's essentially 16 cards and some tokens.
At your turn, you get 2 cards in your hand and you just have to play one of them. And this card can tell you that you swap cards with other person. You can say that other person has to drop their card. Different these kind of powers. And the main idea is to stay the last one alive or make sure that somebody drops the princess. So there are multiple ways, but essentially you want to be the last one standing in that round. Play one of those two cards and see what happens, and those are really quick rounds.
Depending on the set you get, you can play 2 to 6 players, or even 8 depending on the set, but it's 2 to 4 always, and it works great with any number.
Number 5, The Crew.
Yeah, I gave into this one. I've recently gotten back into The Crew. Get it? It's a trick-taking game where you have tons of missions.
Very important. It's a cooperative trick-taking game. That's where the trick is.
You have a bunch of missions, and each of those missions has specific goals that you need to accomplish. For example, somebody can't take any tricks, or somebody has to take specific tricks, or we have to take the tricks in specific order.
Hard to find a game that really awards teamwork. Everybody needs to be on the same page and work together, and you can't really communicate. You can't talk with each other. Team building game that is challenging and really fun. And there's The Crew and The Crew Deep Sea, which is the better version.
But you know what is better than Crew as a travel game?
The fourth one?
Yeah. Well, hopefully. I don't know what you rated.
The Mind.
It is. It's a smaller box. It plays 2 to 4 players. It's also a co-op game where you also cannot talk to each other, but it's not a trick-taking game.
Everybody needs to play a card. The round ends when everybody has played the cards, or you have messed up. And how can you mess up? You have to play these cards in ascending order. So I have to play 1, and then you 3, or whatever cards you have. And if, for example, I play 3 and suddenly, oh no, I had a 2, we lose the game.
And the unique part is there are no turns. Play whenever you feel like playing.
It's this game about like a feeling, and you have to get into the rhythm. You can't like count or cheat. It's really fun. Yes, you can talk about the game, but we usually talk about like life in general. We sit at a bar and can play this game, or travel in an airplane, wherever. You can talk, still have good discussions, and still play the game. Number 3, Dark Stories. Wow.
Yeah, that's actually my number 1, I think, or number 2. Well, I wouldn't call it a game. Let's be honest, it's more of an activity. So one player is the narrator, the leader, the game master. He picks a card, and there's a short story. A woman comes home, tries to call the elevator.
Oh, I thought that's it. A woman comes home.
A woman comes home, calls the elevator. There's no electricity. She understands that her husband is dead. That's it. They're called dark stories for a reason. Everyone else has to ask you questions that you can answer with yes or no. And then they have to get the whole picture, the full story. What happened? How? Where did she go? You can play it anywhere. You can play it while driving a car. You can
standing in a line.
Standing in a line, in an airplane, anywhere you can play it. And it's just a really good travel game.
Everything that's in this game is basically cards with like the story and answers on the other side. Okay, let's get back to board games.
Let's get back to board games.
Zinc Exam, number 2.
Oh wow, you rated it high. It was my number 1. This one's a bit ambiguous. It's been out only in Baltics. The only place where you can find it is in Baltic states. But essentially what it is, it's if you mix Hanabi with Uno, you get Zinc Exam. You're just leaving.
Yeah, bye.
You just... La-da! See, you can also get it in this room. So Zinc Exam is this little card game with this little cute cat. How it works is each player gets a hand of cards that they don't see. I don't see what cards I have, you see mine. And it's a trick-taking game. I play a card, then the next player has to play a card, and at the end, who has the highest number takes the trick. Each of those cards in that trick is worth 1 point. Super simple. But each of those cards has a special ability. For example, I get an extra card in my hand. I can turn 1 card towards me. Somebody can skip a turn. And it takes, what, less than 10 minutes to play a game?
What I was surprised about it, it's super simple and silly, but also when you play it, you can kind of remember cards as well. It's like challenging. You kind of figure out what cards you still have and what to play, and it's more than meets the eye, I think.
Hopefully it gets a wider release sometime in the future, but you can get it in the Baltics.
And number 1.
What?
Mindbug.
Well, that's freshy.
This is a really freshy, which is also 1 versus 1 game.
Now it's my turn.
Yeah, okay. Bye! Dankchen. You just fight with cards, and all you have to do on your turns is either play a card or attack with one of your cards. And if you can't do any of those things, you lose the game. Or you also can lose the game if you lose all your life points. If the opponent just attacks you so much that you lose all of your life points. But you have these different monsters with different abilities and life points. But what it all comes down to is this: a mind bug. after each card that your opponent plays, I can say I'm using my Mindbug and I take your card. And you can't do anything about it.
I can cry, I can curse, I can yell. So there's some things I can do.
Yeah. Both of us have 2 of these, and when you use them up, that's it for the whole game. That's it. It just gives this game such a unique and interesting twist. Just a crazy combat game, which feels really, really fun. I think almost anybody can play it.
Yeah, I've played with my 6 and 9-year-olds. So, well, they're above average because they play a lot of games, but still you can, because the rules are simple. Just these mind games. Do I play this card now to kind of trick him into taking it away? Because he's gonna take 2 cards away at some point. So when, how, which ones to play?
And I'm sitting on the other side and thinking like, I really would like to have this card, but he probably has bigger ones, that's why he's
Or
playing.
does he? Maybe he's bluffing?
A lot of these small twists with the powers as well, and you have a lot of strategy here. How to play each card, the order and everything. It's a lovely, lovely game.
And it's like a 15-minute game.
It's super quick. It's a single deck of cards. This is all you need, and you will have the best of times.
Check out the review coming sometime soon.
And talking about the best of times, be sure to check out our Patreon page. We have the best of times there. We publish 1 video a month extra just for people who support us as a thank you, as well as we have Discord server where we can chat about games we just played or are planning to play, and a lot of other benefits for you if you're interested in that.
What are the games you always take with you when traveling? And which of these would you like to take when traveling? Anyways, see you next time, and thank you for watching.
Bye.